night, a barefoot blue jean night, a barefoot blue jean night, a barefoot blue jean night. Oh, it's a barefoot blue jean. Welcome to this special sports presentation of Hoosier Country 1037, WHZR, Royal Center, Logansport. The IHSAA Girls Basketball State Tournament and the 1A Sectional 52 at Tri-County, featuring the Caston Lady Comets. Presented by Community State Bank and sponsored by the Mike Anderson Auto Group, Logansport Savings Bank, Kevin Scott & Son Bulldozing and Excavating, 12 Mile Veterinary Clinic, Simpleman Excavating, Systematic Ag, and Mike's Trash. Let's get started with the Mike Anderson Auto Group pregame show. Let's take you to the gym at Tri-County. Here's Charlie Schmidgall and Milt Hass.
Welcome here to Tri-County High School. I'm Charlie, he's Milt, and we've got some action fresh from Sectional 52 here, and great game started us off here, Milt, and, well, it was a bit of a one-sided affair.
It was a great game if you were rooting for the home team tonight, Charlie, because that's the way it looked like it might go on paper, and that's the way it went out on the court as well. Tri-County coming in with a 12-11 record, and South Newton had just won one game, and South Newton leaves here having just won one game. 51-15 is what it ended up, and South Newton did not score at all in the third quarter, and it was about halfway through the fourth before they ever scored a second half point. So Tri-County just made it very tough on them to get anything, to even hang on to the ball. I didn't hear what the total number of turnovers were, but it was not pretty for South Newton here tonight. So the home team does advance into the championship on their home court tomorrow night.
And we will find out here in a few who's going to be joining them, as this is going to be a tight contest here between Caston and North White. We're going to take a quick break. This is the IHSAA Girls Basketball Tournament on Hoosier Country 1037 with live audio on IndianasBestRadio.com.
Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in downtown Logansport. You can trust our team to provide the best service and selection with a one-stop full-service dealership destination for drivers throughout the area. With a large selection of well-known American automotive brand names, we've got what you're looking for. Mike Anderson Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, downtown Logansport.
Community State Bank opened for business in May of 1930 in Royal Center. Over the years, we have grown to 4 offices. Our commitment to you is to build a trusted relationship and to provide the products and services you need to realize your financial dreams. Community State Bank in Royal Center, 12 Mile, Kewanna and Walton, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Your pets are members of your family, and they depend on you for their care, and you'll find the best care at the 12 Mile Veterinary Clinic. They promote preventative care while providing comprehensive services, including spay, neuter, in-house laboratory, pharmacy, and dentistry. 12 Mile Veterinary Clinic, a proud supporter of Caston Athletics.
At Simpleman Excavating Incorporated, we're proud of the Caston Comets girls basketball team. Their hard work and determination is second to none, and we wish them all the best in tournament play. Simpleman Excavating Incorporated, specializing in site prep, land clearing, and irrigation tile. Contact 574-835-0999. All the equipment to get any job done. Go Comets!
Hoosier Country 1037. In our coverage of the IHSAA Girls Basketball State Tournament, the 1A Sectional 52 at Tri-County, presented by Community State Bank. The Mike Anderson Auto Group pregame show continues. Back to Charlie and Milt.
Charlie and Milt coming at you here again, and we're going to start our analysis of tonight's game, giving a little bit of a preview of the North White Vikings. And Milt, this is a team that's a little bit better than their record will show.
Well, in talking to Coach Josh Douglas of the Comets before this game, that's what worries him. And he's hoping his team doesn't look at their record and assume they're going to come in here and win this game, because he's a little concerned that North White is better than what their 7-17 record indicates. They played them very early on, so you really can't go. Nobody knew anything about either of their teams when they played in November, like the third or fourth game of the season. Caston won that by 11, but you just can't go by that. So much has probably changed. Teams get better. They take care of business in that amount of time, and so he doesn't really know what to expect. He knows, does Josh Douglas, that if the Comets play their game, they should be okay. But at this stage of the game, you don't know. And especially when you're playing a team that's 7-17, that's probably the most worrisome thing to do, to go into a tournament and play a team like that you know is probably better than what that record indicates. But you just hope they don't find it all together the night they're playing you.
No kidding. The first 24 games don't matter anymore. It's what they can bring tonight. And one of the people who's going to be big for this North White team is going to be Tessa Robertson, the senior forward, and her numbers are huge.
Well, it looks like everything goes through their bigs. If you look at their stats anyway. Again, we haven't seen North White this year, but this Tessa Robertson averages 15 points and 7 rebounds to lead the way there. Then they have a fresh, sort of an odd makeup for their roster because they have 4 seniors. They all start, and then they start a freshman. There is not a junior on this North White roster, so just sort of an odd makeup there. But their seniors do play a big part, and yet it's the one freshman who also makes her presence felt on the boards besides Tessa Robertson. But it looks like, if you just look from afar, as we are, that a lot of things go through Tessa Robertson for North White.
And it will surely be interesting to see what Coach Brian Heimlich and his group can put together. We're going to take a quick break after we just gave you a preview of the 42nd ranked team in 1A, the North White Vikings. Those rankings on Max Preps. Going to take a quick break and then give you a look at Caston. This is the IHSAA Girls Basketball Tournament on Hoosier Country 103.7 with live audio on Indiana'sBestRadio.com.
At Mike Anderson Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in downtown Logansport, you can trust our team to provide the best service and selection with a one-stop full-service dealership destination for drivers throughout the area. With a large selection of well-known American automotive brand names, we've got what you're looking for. Mike Anderson Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, downtown Logansport.
At Community State Bank, we offer a variety of deposit accounts to fit your needs. Our services include free debit cards, online and mobile banking, and bill pay. Contact any one of our offices and ask to speak to one of our deposit account specialists. Community State Bank, with locations in Royal Center, 12 Mile, Kewanna, and Walton. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Got a tough outside project to do? Kevin Scott & Son Bulldozing and Excavating has tough equipment to get her done. Serving Cass and surrounding counties, they're the name you've trusted for years because they get it done fast and they get it done right. Kevin Scott & Son Bulldozing and Excavating, proud supporter of Caston Athletics. 574-664-4292. Logansport Savings Bank is a proud supporter of our community and local sports. Logansport Savings Bank recognizes the importance that sports play in the development of young student athletes. Student athletes to become the leaders of tomorrow. Logansport Savings Bank is leading the way. 574-722-3855 or online at logansportsavings.com. Hoosier Country 103.7. In our coverage of the IHSAA Girls Basketball State Tournament, the 1A Sectional 52 in Tri-County, presented by Community State Bank. The Mike Anderson Auto Group pregame show continues. Back to Charlie and Milt.
Back here in the gym, previewing the visitors on the scoreboard today, the Caston Comets, and this is a group that is really rolling.
Yeah, I'd say, and they were rolling even more until the last week, going well, not quite the last week of the season, but really close to the last week of the season, where they finally lost their first two games of the year. They lost them back-to-back. Now they were two very good 2A teams in North Miami and Carroll. But they were 19-0 up till just the very end of the season. They did pick up a game, so they didn't have to go into the tournament with a loss. They did pick up Rochester as a last-minute pickup, and they were able to beat the Lady Zebras. So they at least come into the tournament with the momentum of a win as opposed to those two losses. But again, those two losses were very close games against very tough teams. So maybe not a bad thing. I don't know who wants to really go into a tournament unbeaten, because you certainly don't want your first loss of the year to come at that time. There's no room for error at that point. But a team that, again, if they play the way they've played all season, they should be able to take care of business.
And this team really gets it done, 48.5 points per game, 7-0 in conference play. And one of the things that jumped off the page to me about this group is the fact that they're ranked number 2 in 1A on Max Preps. They have really been efficient, and it's not just, obviously, Isabel Scales is going to be the biggest contributor, but there's a lot of players that chip in here.
Well, if you look at the stats, Isabel Scales leads them in about every statistical category, but she doesn't dominate in those categories. She's getting a lot of help, and this will be my first chance to actually see them in person, but I get Coach Douglas sends out the emails, and I'm on that email list after every game, and so you can see the stats game by game. And if I look at them, I notice Isabel Scales isn't always their leading scorer. So they have been able to spread this around. They have two seniors who start. But again, even though Isabel Scales and everything's going to go through her, obviously she's a pretty dominating player. But again, she has enough around her that she isn't always the mainstay. It means that you can't necessarily take Isabel Scales if you're the opponent. You can't necessarily just take her out of the picture and expect to win the ball game.
Certainly not. And I'll tell you, I actually have seen this group play. My first game on Hoosier Country was between Caston and the Lady Panthers at the Logan Sports Savings Bank Invitational. Oh, yeah. And this is a group that moves the ball around very well. They'll play through Scales, but they'll also work through the bigs. They've got a lot of ways that they can get to you. And we're going to take another break here in just a moment. This is the IHSAA Girls Basketball Tournament on Hoosier Country 103.7 with live audio on Indiana'sBestRadio.com.
At Mike Anderson Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in downtown Logansport, you can trust our team to provide the best service and selection with a one-stop full-service dealership destination for drivers throughout the area. With a large selection of well-known American automotive brand names, we've got what you're looking for. Mike Anderson Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, downtown Logansport.
At Community State Bank, we support our community with time, talent, and resources. We want to be your friend and neighbor in addition to your banker. Community State Bank with locations in Royal Center, 12 Mile, Kewanna, and Walton. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Forget paying those high prices for trash removal. You have a better choice. Mike's Trash Removal in Rochester offers a variety of affordable trash removal and dumpster services to Rochester and the surrounding counties. They offer seasonal service, perfect for snowbirds and lake residents. They also offer once-a-month pickup for smaller households. Call Mike's Trash Removal today and get better service for less money. Mike's Trash LLC in Rochester, 574-223-6429. A proud supporter of Caston High School athletics. Go Comets!
Every farm has a system, and at Systematic Ag in Lucerne, we are here to help you refine it. Systematic Ag offers parts and services for solutions to improve the systems you use in every season of your ever-evolving operation. Stay up to date with the latest precision tools and technology. Call us today at 574-727-1087. Systematic Ag in Lucerne, proud supporter of Caston Athletics.
Tri-County. Presented by Community State Bank. Hoosier Country 1037. WHZR Royal Center, Logansport. It's time for tip-off. We go back to the gym at Tri-County. The play-by-play is coming up. Here's Charlie Schmidtgall and Milt Hess.
Back here at Tri-County High School, where things are heating up. Not quite at game time, but we got a little bit of time here to discuss. Good crowd drawn here by Caston.
Yeah, that might make it a little tough to even see the game, Charlie. The only problem with the setup over at Tri-County, you're at the top of the bleachers, but people are smack dab in front of you, and we're on the Caston side. And of course, the Lady Comets have traveled well
for tonight. Additionally, I was addressing, we may have a six-pack by the time we're done. We're about even with the scoreboards, and we can see the clock on one and the score on the other. So we're going to get a lot of pivot motion going on here. You have to do
a lot of shifting around to see the scoreboards. Again, you use one for the score and one for the clock. So it's a great facility here at Tri-County, and Jeff LeBeau is the athletic director. He and his assistant Kim Hensler take very good care of us when we're over here. It's just you have to overcome a few things. Again, I've got somebody smack dab in front of me, and as the game goes on, Caston people, they're not. If things get exciting, they're not going to care who's behind them. They're going to stand and they're going to cheer, and it's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be a great atmosphere.
And certainly should be. Again, a great crowd here. It's a lot of North White support as well. Vikings traveled pretty well, and they will, as we mentioned a little. And as you can hear, got some bands. I, for one, as a former band kid, that's right, I'm admitting it, I was a band kid. I love a good band.
Well, and we're certainly not going to need crowd mics to pick up the bands. Everything is going to stay right here within the gymnasium as far as the band noise is concerned. So just another point, whoever wins this is going to be playing Tri-County on their home court tomorrow night for the championship, and I believe that's set for 7:30. Is it not?
That is correct. And something worthy of note about this Caston team, they haven't lost at home, and they haven't lost on a neutral site. Now, that last game, is it really a neutral site? They say it is, but I mean, we're in Tri-County's gym, the big old TC's right in the middle, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, assuming that is a factor, of course.
Well, and I told a group on Tuesday that I've seen some strange things happen in this gymnasium for boys basketball. Hey, down in front. Down in front. Chuck Evans, the principal at Caston, Gina Hurlmeyer, the athletic director at Caston, they're making their way past us here, as everybody in the gym will at some point. It'll be a pilgrimage between one end of the gym to the other, going right past us. So,
Milt, I think they just like us so much they want to come up here and hang out.
Yeah.
That's what I've been telling myself.
Yeah, that's what we can go with, I guess. So they are announcing the starting lineup. Well, they're announcing the whole roster for Caston since this is their first game. Again, they drew the bye. And this is the first time they've been playing here at this Tri-County sectional this year. So
that is correct. And North White defeated West Central 56-38 back on the 31st of January to earn the opportunity to be here today.
And again, the first time these two teams met was back in November when Caston won that 45-34. So. Again, for the Lady Comets who are being introduced, three juniors and two seniors start for the Lady Comets.
And that group of five is going to be number 11, Isabel Scales, number 12, Bailey Harness, number 13, Miley Rude, number 14, Kylie Logan, and number 24, Kinsey Mollenkopf.
And Isabel Scales averages over 16 points a game, over 8 rebounds a contest, Also in double-figure scoring is Addie Zimpelman, averaging 11.5 points. Bailey Harness just missing double-figure scoring with 9. And she averages 6.5 rebounds a game. So.
And for the Lady Vikings, they're going to be rolling out that squad we addressed earlier. 4 seniors, 1 freshman. Going to include number 5, Katie Stevens, number 10, Abigail Spry, number 12, Callie Hunt, number 32, Autumn Reif, and number 33, Tessa Robertson. North White going to be wearing their white uniforms with blue lettering and yellow accents. Caston going to be in the blues with white lettering and red accents as we get ourselves ready for tip-off.
Also, the Logan Sport Lady Berries are playing tonight. Pioneer and Caston are playing each other tonight. So try to keep you updated if we get any scores along the way.
And very exciting day in basketball. Everybody loves sectional time. It just, anything can happen, and it all starts with a tip right here. And tip won by Caston as they get ready for their first offensive possession of the day. Moving it around the perimeter, 3-point shot up from Miley Root, no good. Offensive rebound pulled down by the Comets. And Vikings get a hand in there, force a jump ball. Possession arrow takes it the way of the Vikings. 7 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the first quarter here as North White brings the ball up the floor. Abigail Spry trusted with the handling. Moving it to the near side wing, Katie Stevens working it. Aggressive man-to-man defense being played here by Caston, and a quick foul called on the Comets. My apologies on that, as now North White still working with the basketball. 7 minutes and 9 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Searching for the first score of the game. North White up the middle, and deflection brought down by the Comets. And the Lady Comets coming in transition. Swinging it across the outside, working with 3 out and 2 in. 3-point shot from the corner, up and no good. Bailey Harness couldn't get it to go. Vikings with the rebound.
Well, just 2 shots, 2 3-pointers for the Lady Comets so far.
As for North White, they've tried to work it inside a little bit as they try for another offensive possession here. Katie Stevens working with the ball on the outside. Movement around. Free throw line. Shot fake. Move back out. 3-pointer up and off the mark for the Vikings, but they come down with the rebound and they draw a foul.
Well, they're getting opportunities. So 2 team fouls on the Lady Comets already here in the first couple minutes. And again, both times down the court, they have gotten the offensive rebound.
And the Vikings very aggressive on the boards, working with 2 down low. As they move it around the perimeter, pass stolen by the Comets. As they slow things down and try to run an offensive set. 5 minutes and 54 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Still searching for the first points today. And a block going to be called on the Vikings. Caston's going to have the basketball back. Tessa Robertson of North White going to pick up her first foul of the day.
First on the Lady Vikings.
And the inbounds pass knocked away, but going to stay with Caston as they prepare to inbound it under their own basket. Inbounds play being set up for Caston players at the free throw line. Ball inbounded, shot up, no good. Offensive rebound, bounces around and in. Good for Caston.
Well, it's the first score of the game. Comes about 2.5 minutes.
On a short corner shot from Tessa Robertson. We are tied at 2. Caston now bringing the basketball up the floor. Working on the inside, shot up and no good. Off the back iron, Bailey Harness couldn't get it to go. Vikings with the rebound.
Well, if you look at the stats, North White has not been a 3-point shooting team this year. They're hitting like 20% and only 64 made 3-pointers all year. If I'm Caston, I think I'm packing it down low, making them making them prove that they can hit the outside shot.
And it's going to be interesting to see how they make an adjustment. Caston knocked that ball away, but off of them going to be Vikings ball under their own basket. As Abigail Spry will be trusted with the inbound for North White. Gets the ball into Robertson. Shot up, no good, gets her own rebound. Kick out. It's a long two and an air ball from the Vikings. Going to send the ball Caston way.
Yep. I would just, again, if I'm Josh Douglas, I'm making them prove that they can hit an outside shot.
Well, they made you look pretty smart with the air ball right after you said it. Here we've
that
got,
wasn't quite a three, though.
Not quite. Very long two, though. As Caston now works on the offensive side. Back to the basket. Shot up. No good by Scales, but offensive rebound. Caston with a chance for a second chance bucket. Feed to the post and no good. Missed a little bit of contact, but no good. Game still tied at 2. North White now with the ball. 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. North White, errant pass knocked loose. Caston going to come up with it after a scrum for it on the floor. Scales now pushing transition. Spin move. Shot up. No good. Bounces around and out of bounds off of Caston. It's going to be North White basketball.
Is that just a loose ball out of bounds, or did somebody actually have control of that, Charlie?
I think that was just a loose ball out of bounds. I think it just got tapped away. Couldn't quite bring it in. Some full court pressure being applied here by Caston. Vikings trying a press break for the first time today. And they're going to quickly get a foul on Caston again. This one charged to number 11, Isabel Scales.
The Lady Comets, at least through the regular season, they don't go real deep on the bench.
3 team fouls, at least on 3 different people. They've got that going for them as the game's tied 2-2, 3.5 minutes to go. 3-pointer up and way long. Didn't catch anything. Caston pulls down the rebound in transition up the middle. Shot up and one. The bucket goes for Addison Zimpelman, and she's got a chance at a 3-point play.
Well, they've had to work at it, but they.
The foul was charged to North White's Katie Stevens as the charity stripe seems to be anything but. And knocked away. Caston going to get the basketball here after forcing a nice little errant pass there.
Have the Lady Vikings with 3 turnovers.
And so far, the higher pressure that's been applied by Caston has really gotten to North White. As Caston now has the ball and the lead, 4-2. Working it around the outside. Kinsey Mollenkamp passes it to Harness in the corner, feeding the post, and it shot up and good. Isabel Scales gets the bucket to go with a nice little hook.
So they have 3 players with a foul each. They have 3 players with a basket each.
And that's a trade they'll take all day long.
Yep.
As a 3-pointer up for North White is good. Tessa Robertson showing off the range as she makes this one now 6-5. Caston working on offense, 2.5 minutes to go here in the first. Kicked out to the short corner, cutting in, and a foul committed by the Vikings. It's going to give Caston the ball under their own basket after the foul by number 32, Autumn Reif. Her first.
So each team with 3 team fouls, and they're all on 3 different players both ways.
Caston corner 3 up and no good, but getting her own rebound and going to the inside. Second chance look, no good. Rebound by the Vikings. No shortage of effort on that play by Zimpelman, but now the Vikings have the ball. Feeding the post, and no good. Morgan Carter wasn't able to bring that one in.
4th turnover for North White. I'm not showing Caston with any turnovers.
Caston has been very efficient taking care of the basketball. Just a few missed shots have gotten to them so far.
Yeah, they're just 3 out of 12 from the field so far.
2 minutes to go here, just inside the free throw line. Jump shot up, no good. Rebound pulled down by the Vikings. And I'll tell you what, this Vikings team does a terrific job on the boards, offensive and defensive.
They are making it tough down low for the Lady Comets.
As they try to work the ball around, 3-point shot up from Robertson, no good. Rebound pulled down by Caston, as they're going to take it the other way. And Caston working it on the outside. Kinsey Mollenkamp skip pass to the near side wing. And a turnover, first of the day by Caston. And the Vikings skip it down. 3-point shot up and way short. Foul called. I think that one was an off ball, though. On number 12, Bailey Harness.
But that's her second foul here early on. We still have 1:05 to go in the first quarter.
North White trailing with the balls, 6-5. And a travel. They're going to give it back to Caston here with just under a minute to go.
5 turnovers to 1. And a 6-5 score.
For this last minute here, Caston with a couple of new faces out there. Macy Hinderleger has the ball moving into the outside to Annie Harsh. Skip pass over, finds the hands of Zimpelman. Back out to Harsh. They're taking their sweet time trying to drain down some of this clock. 37 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and they throw it away. Vikings get a steal by way of Tessa Robertson. Vikings now take the ball across the timeline. Abigail Spry handling it just on the far side of the logo, past the volleyball line. No face guarding here, so they're letting more clock run down. 12 seconds to go. Vikings trailing 5-6, under 10. Dribbling around the outside, pass over. Driving in, shot heaved up, bounces out, no good. Caston with the rebound, and the buzzer will sound. And almost a full court heave, but no dice. And just like that, 1 quarter down, and Caston hanging on to a slim lead against the North White Vikings. This is the IHSAA Girls Basketball Tournament on Hoosier Country 103.7 with live audio on IndianasBestRadio.com.
Community State Bank opened for business in May of 1930 in Royal Center. Over the years, we have grown to 4 offices. Our commitment to you is to build a trusted relationship and to provide the products and services you need to realize your financial dreams. Community State Bank in Royal Center, 12 Mile, Kewanna and Walton. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Got a tough outside project to do? Kevin Scott and Son Bulldozing and Excavating has tough equipment to get her done. Serving Cass and surrounding counties, they're the name you've trusted for years because they get it done fast and they get it done right. Kevin Scott and Son Bulldozing and Excavating, proud supporter of Caston Athletics. 574-664-4292. Hoosier Country 103.7 and the 1A Sectional 52 at Tri-County, featuring the Caston Lady Comets. Presented by Community State Bank. Back to the gym with Charlie Schmidtgall and Milt Hess.
I'm Charlie, he's Milt, and we've got some second quarter action here. 7 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the second, and a foul is called on North White, 6-5. And Milt, anything you noticed in that first quarter?
Well, neither team shooting lights out.
Far from it. Very well lit, I believe would be the way to say. No lights out. As we ball moving around the outside for Caston. 7.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Maybe got away with a little bit. And the universe balances it back out. Travel on Addison Zimpelman. It's going to be North White basketball.
The Lady Comets were 3 out of 13, including 0 for 3 from three-point range. And then North White was 2 out of 11 shooting the basketball. 1 out of 6 2-point, 1 out of 5 3-pointer. Nobody hit a free throw. There was only one taken in that first quarter. 5 turnovers to 2 in that first quarter. North White with the 5.
And North White going to try to take a little bit better care of the rock here as they're working with it now. Ball almost knocked away, but they managed to keep it. Feeding the low post and a foul called. Trying to recharge to Kinsey Mollenkamp.
Now it's a 15 foul on the Lady Comets, and they've come on 4 different players. They have 1 player, and that's Bailey Harness, who has 2. North White also has 1 player with 2 fouls. They just threw it out of bounds.
And that pass, well, unless if it was intended for the person guarding the door over there, I don't know who she was passing it to. Caston going to have a chance with the ball here. 6 minutes and 52 seconds to go here in the first half. Caston leading 6-5. Still in search of the first points in the second quarter here.
And neither team able to get into any kind of offensive flow.
3-point shot up and just a little long, but offensive rebound by Caston. And they're going to say that ball went off of North White. Caston going to have another opportunity here with the inbounds under their own basket. North White fans taking a bit of exception to that, but we don't get paid to ref the games, right?
No.
Caston does get the ball in.
Not officially.
Not officially, anyway. 3-point shot up and good. Isabel Scales gets the first 3 of the day to go for the Caston Comets. They take the lead 9-5.
Well, I suppose it's appropriate that Isabel would hit the first 3 for the Lady Comets. Neither team real efficient with 3-pointers. I think one shoots like 26%, the other 20%. So that's not been a real big part of the offense.
Hey, but if they can get them to fall, they'll take them however they can get them. Shot from the elbow up and no good. Another air ball for North White, going to lead to a Caston basketball here.
And naturally, that was their first shot of the second quarter.
Tough stretch offensively for North White as Caston's working with a lead 9-5. They move the ball around the perimeter, working a motion offense with a 4-out, 1-in is what it's looking like to me. Far corner, Macy Hinderleiter, long skip pass to Scales, driving in, jump shot up, bounces around, no good. Vikings come away with the rebound. And for North White, the primary ball handling duties have been on Abigail Spry. And she's not really been the one committing the turnovers. It's more been the in-between passes that they've had so far.
Well, each team is making it tough on the other inside.
And great hustle play there by Caston, but North White able to retain the basketball as they feed the post. Shot from about 8 feet up and no good for the Lady Vikings. And rebound pulled down by Caston. And a foul as there was a tumble onto the floor. I think just maybe caught somebody a little off balance with the shove, and Abigail Spry going to get charged with that one.
Well, that is their 5th team foul as well. So each team with 5 team fouls. So it's been pretty even. And again, each team has 1 player who has 2 fouls.
Now 4 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the first half. Caston leading the North White Vikings. 9-5 shot up and no good. North White pulls down the rebound. And for North White, they haven't really been pushing transition, really slowing down and letting their bigs be able to get into the post. North White drive up the middle, heaved up and good. Abigail's bucket of the day.
Well, she was not going to be denied. She took it into the lane, and she just willed her way to the basket.
She had to go through a forest of arms to get it to go, but Caston now hanging on to a slim lead. Pass to the middle, shot up, no good. North White with the rebound. Score is 9-7. Caston leading North White, who's working on offense.
Lady Comets 4 out of 18 from the field.
And this ball knocked away by the Comets, playing quality defense, and they're going to pick up a foul on the Vikings real quick. Kaylin Applegate going to pick up her first foul for North White, the 6th on the Vikings. As the Caston Comets work with the ball, just over 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. Zimpelman feeds the post, kick back out to Annie Harsh. Free throw line jumper up, no good. Rebound pulled down by Scales and fouled on the way up. Isabel Scales going to be going to the line for 2.
Well, if you're Caston, that's one player you do want to the free throw line. She's a 73% free throw shooter. It pretty much drops off the table.
97 of 132 this year. She really makes a lot of free throws. As she gets her first attempt up, bounces around and in, extending the lead 10-7.
First made free throw of the night. North White has not attempted a free throw.
And Isabel Scales makes them both, extending the lead 11-7 for Caston. It's now North White trying to search for a little bit of offensive efficiency. They have had a tough go of it scoring here in the second quarter. Kind of just dribbling the ball around the outside, swings it to the near side wing. Trying a feed to the post up high, but a little bit long, and couldn't rein it in inbounds. It's going to be a turnover, Caston basketball.
Third turnover of the quarter, 8th of the game for North White. Lady Comets with just 3 turnovers at this point.
And it's very tough to win a basketball game if you're not taking care of the rock, and that's been a bit of a struggle so far. As now Caston works with just under 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Feed at the Cavs logo. Shot from 6 feet out, heaved up, and no foul called. Scales tried to put it up through the contact. No such luck. And Caston going to get charged with a quick frustration foul, I believe, on that one.
Wow. That's certainly not a good foul that far away. Not that far away from the basket.
And you're frustrated, but you just have to keep that in check a little bit more there.
Second foul on Kenzie Mollenkoff. She joins Bailey Harness as the Comets with 2 fouls. Bailey Harness is back into the ball game, though.
And shot heaved up, and another one, a miracle shot from Abigail Spry goes in. I think that had 15 feet of arc on it.
Only way she was going to get it up over the outstretched arms.
And North White almost forces a turnover, and they're going to call a foul as Caston tried to retain that basketball. Going to be charged to number 4, Macy Hinderleiter. And that is going to be the 7th team foul. It's going to allow for free throws here.
Next foul would put Caston the bonus as well.
And at the free throw line, Abigail Spry, first one up and good. As she brings this to be a 1-point game. 2 minutes and 13 seconds left here in the second. Abigail Spry with a chance to tie this one up at the free throw line. And she gets it to go. We are tied at 11.
Well, she's the only one who scored this quarter for North White. Isabel Scales is the only one who scored for Caston.
North White now set up in a 2-3 zone as Caston tries to break it on the offensive side. Feed into the post. Passed over. Short corner shot fake driving in is Scales and heaves it up and good. And that one was a circus shot, but it works. 13-11, Caston takes the lead.
Taking it to the defense. Again, it's been very tough for both teams inside.
1 minute and 40 seconds to go.
Bailey Harness has to be careful.
Definitely could have gotten away with one there. 3-point shot chucked up and good for North White. Morgan Carter hits a 3, giving her team their first lead of the day, 14-13. Caston now trailing for the first time today as they try to work it around Macy Hinderleiter at the far corner. Scales working, feeding the post. Back to the basket is Harness and gets caught with a double dribble. North White going to get the basketball.
Well, this is what Josh Douglas, again, when I saw him before this game, he said, we just need to play our game, and obviously North White has taken them out of their game.
And North White has 60 seconds left here in the first half. They're leading 14-13, working with the basketball, and Caston knocks it loose. And this is going to be a jump ball going the way of North White. So North White retains the basketball. They're going to be inbounding it from under their own hoop. Abigail Spry gets it into Tessa Robertson. Long skip pass, barely brought in by the Vikings. Drive to the basket, shot up and no good. But offensive rebound and second chance point goes for Tessa Robertson. As they extend their lead 16-13. Caston now playing from behind with 30 seconds to go. Feet to the inside, turn, left hand up, and fouled. Addison Zimpelman going to be going to the free throw line for two.
That was a good move to the basket to be able to pick herself up a couple of free throws here.
As Caitlin Applegate picked up her second foul of the game, 26.4 to go in this one. Two free throws coming up for the junior Addison Zimpelman. And she gets the first to fall, bringing this one 16-14. North White leading Caston.
A lot of arc on that free throw.
As Zimpelman gets ready, squats down, shot up, and good. Sinks the pair, bringing this one 16-15 with 26 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, I said free throws weren't a strong point for either one of these teams, and yet we've only had one free throw missed tonight. So
they just love proving us wrong, don't they?
Lady Comets 4 out of 5, North White 2 out of 2.
10 seconds to go. North White driving to the inside, out to the short corner. And they're struggling to keep the basketball, but they do. 3 seconds ticking down. Knocked loose. Robertson tries to get a shot up. Comets 16-15. We're going to have some halftime action for you here in just one moment. You are listening to the IHSAA Girls Basketball Tournament on Hoosier Country 103.7 with live audio on IndianasBestRadio.com.
At Community State Bank, we support our community with time, talent, and resources. We want to be your friend and neighbor in addition to your banker. Community State Bank with locations in Royal Center, 12 Mile, Kewanna, and Walton. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Your pets are members of your family, and they depend on you for their care, and you'll find the best care at the 12 Mile Veterinary Clinic. They promote preventative care while providing comprehensive services, including spay, neuter, in-house laboratory, pharmacy, and dentistry. 12 Mile Veterinary Clinic, a proud supporter of Caston Athletics.
At Zimpelman Excavating Incorporated, we're proud of the Caston Comets girls basketball team. Their hard work and determination is second to none, and we wish them all the best in tournament play. Zimpelman Excavating Incorporated, specializing in site prep, land clearing, and irrigation tile. Contact 574-835-0999. All the equipment to get any job done. Go Comets!
Every farm has a system, and at Systematic Ag in Lucerne, we are here to help you refine it. Systematic Ag offers parts and services for solutions to improve the systems you use in every season of your ever-evolving operation. Stay up to date with the latest precision tools and technology. Call us today at 574-727-1087. Systematic Ag in Lucerne, proud supporter of Caston Athletics.
Forget paying those high prices for trash removal. You have a better choice. Mike's Trash Removal in Rochester offers a variety of affordable trash removal and dumpster services to Rochester and the surrounding counties. They offer seasonal service, perfect for snowbirds and lake residents. They also offer once-a-month pickup for smaller households. Call Mike's Trash Removal today and get better service for less money. Mike's Trash LLC in Rochester, 574-223-6429. A proud supporter of Caston High School Athletics. Go Comets!
Hoosier Country 1037, WHZR, Royal Center, Logansport. And our coverage of the IHSAA Girls Basketball State Tournament, the 1A Sectional 52 at Tri-County, featuring the Caston Lady Comets, presented by Community State Bank. It's time for the halftime show. We take you back to the gymnasium. Here's Charlie Schmidgall and Milt Hess.
Charlie here. I'm Charlie. He's Milt. And what a game we have here at Sectional 52.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's more of a game than what the Caston folks were hoping for. And that's, again, Josh Douglas. He was concerned coming into the game that this North White team was better than 7-17, and certainly they've proven a worthy opponent here tonight. As a matter of fact, more than worthy. They have the 1-point lead, 16-15, and offense has just been tough for each of these teams here tonight, Charlie. So they'll have the locker room to try to get it figured out.
That they're going to have to. And we'll give you a little bit more of an idea of what each team did in the first half, maybe a little bit of an idea of what you can look forward to in our second half of action here. This is the IHSAA Girls Basketball Tournament on Hoosier Country 1037 with live audio on Indiana'sBestRadio.com.
Community State Bank opened for business in May of 1930 in Royal Center. Over the years, we have grown to 4 offices. Our commitment to you is to build a trusted relationship and to provide the products and services you need to realize your financial dreams. Community State Bank in Royal Center, 12 Mile, Kewanna and Walton, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Your pets are members of your family, and they depend on you for their care. And you'll find the best care at the 12 Mile Veterinary Clinic. They promote preventative care while providing comprehensive services, including spay, neuter, in-house laboratory, pharmacy, and dentistry. 12 Mile Veterinary Clinic, a proud supporter of Caston Athletics.
At Zimpelman Excavating Incorporated, we're proud of the Caston Comets girls basketball team. Their hard work and determination is second to none, and we wish them all the best in tournament play. Zimpelman Excavating Incorporated, specializing in site prep, land clearing, and irrigation tile. Contact 574-835-0999. All the equipment to get any job done. Go Comets!
Hoosier Country 1037 as the halftime show continues. Back to Charlie and Milt.
Charlie and Milt here, and this has been a tight one, 16-15. And what are the numbers so far, Milt?
Well, it doesn't take long to go over the offensive numbers of this first half. Again, it's just been tough for both teams. They're not great three-point shooting teams to begin with, so each team has been trying to take it down inside. Each team knows that, so they've made it very tough for them down inside as well. The North White Lady Vikings, again with a 1-point lead, they've had 3 players score, and they are led by Tessa Robertson with 7 points. 5 of those coming in the first quarter, just 1 basket in the second. Then Abigail Spry took over in the second quarter, so she was the only one who'd scored for the biggest part of that second quarter. She ends up with all 6 of her points in that quarter number 2. The only other person to score is Morgan Carter, who's off their bench, and she has a 3-point basket for 3. The Caston Lady Comets also, just 3 players have scored, and it's the 3 who've done the majority of their scoring this year. Isabel Scales had just a basket for 2 in the first quarter. She did have 7 points in the second quarter, including the only 3-pointer made by the Lady Comets. So she has 9 points to lead all scorers at this point. Addie Zimpelman had 2 points in the first, 2 free throws in the second for a total of 4. And then Bailey Harness, who got herself into foul trouble early, spent a good portion of the first quarter and the second quarter on the bench. She has 1 basket that came in the first quarter for 2 points. So there's your individual scoring. Again, Caston trailing 16-15 after leading 6-5 at the end of the first quarter. So scoring has been at a premium.
That it has been, and hopefully a little bit more going as we're going to continue with the halftime show here. This is the IHSAA Girls Basketball Tournament on Hoosier Country 1037 with live audio on Indiana'sBestRadio.com.
Forget paying those high prices for trash removal. You have a better choice. Mike's Trash Removal in Rochester offers a variety of affordable trash removal and dumpster services to Rochester and the surrounding counties. They offer seasonal service, perfect for snowbirds and lake residents. They also offer once-a-month pickup for smaller households. Call Mike's Trash Removal today and get better service for less money. Mike's Trash LLC in Rochester, 574-223-6429. A proud supporter of Caston High School athletics. Go Comets!
Every farm has a system, and at Systematic Ag in Lucerne, we are here to help you refine it. Systematic Ag offers parts and services for solutions to improve the systems you use in every season of your ever-evolving operation. Stay up to date with the latest precision tools and technology. Call us today at 574-727-1087. Systematic Ag in Lucerne, proud supporter of Caston Athletics.
Logan Sports Savings Bank is a proud supporter of our community and local sports. Logan Sports Savings Bank recognizes the importance that sports play in the development of young student athletes. Student athletes that become the leaders of tomorrow. Logan Sports Savings Bank is leading the way. 574-722-3855 or online at logansportsavings.com.
Hoosier Country 1037 as the halftime show continues. Back to Charlie and Milt.
Back here in the gym, action closing in on the second half. Just a reminder, North White currently leading the number 2 ranked Caston Comets by a score of 16-15. And the law of large numbers says these baskets have got to start going in. And we'll give you an idea of if they do here in just a moment. Your Girls Basketball Tournament on Hoosier Country 1037 with live audio on Indiana'sBestRadio.com.
At Community State Bank, we offer a variety of deposits. Our services include free debit cards, online and mobile banking, and bill pay. Contact any one of our offices and ask to speak to one of our deposit account specialists. Community State Bank with locations in Royal Center, 12 Mile, Kewanna, and Walton. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Got a tough outside project to do? Kevin Scott and Son Bulldozing and Excavating has tough equipment to get her done. Serving Caston and surrounding counties, they're the name you've trusted for years because they get it done fast and they get it done right. Kevin Scott and Son Bulldozing and Excavating, proud supporter of Caston Athletics. 574-664-4292. Hoosier Country 1037. WA Logansport and our coverage of the IHSAA Girls Basketball State Tournament. The 1A Sectional 52 at Tri-County. Presented by Community State Bank. It's time for the second half of play. Let's take you back to the gym at Tri-County. Here's Charlie Schmidgall and Milt Hess.
Charlie and Milt back here at Sectional 52. We're about 30 seconds of the way in, and Caston is retaking the lead, 17-16.
Isabel Scales, and I guess they'll try to maybe keep it in her hands quite a bit and see if she can take over this game. But she hits the first basket of the second half to give them the lead.
That old adage, big-time players make big-time plays, and Caston certainly planning on turning to their big-time player as North White trying to work on offense. Post move shot up and banks it in. Good work in the post by Tessa Robertson as she puts her team back ahead 18-17. Now Caston trying to cook up a response. Free throw line jumper up and good. My apologies, Kinsey Mollenkampf. The double names on the roster are getting me. I'm scratching them out.
Kinsey Mollenkampf with her first basket of the game. So already I think we've seen more scoring than ratio-wise than we did in the first half.
And I'll tell you what, the Caston fans are saying this is a sight for sore eyes. Seeing the first couple shots go in as a shot just inside the free throw line. Banks in. My goodness. Banks open late tonight.
Was that Reef?
Yeah, I believe
32?
so. I believe so. So that brings this one, North White now back ahead 20-19 with 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Caston kicks it out to the corner. Three-pointer up and no good. Rebound pulled down by the Vikings.
That's the first miss of the second half by either team.
And there's a discussion about getting some time. It looks like we've got a shoe malfunction. Oh, you just can't beat it. Looks like a little retie.
We'll stop the clock. But the teams, again, Caston, very cold. They were shot just 24% from the field, 20% from three-point range in that first half. North White was 33%, both overall field goal percentage and from three-point land. So we've already seen a very much of an uptick in the field goal shooting here in this third quarter.
All right, and shoes are retied, and action is back underway as a three-pointer is up and good for North White. Katie Stevens hits a three to fall. North White now leading by 4, 23-19, and Caston trying to cook up a response.
We've already had 2 players in this half score who did not score in the first half, so more people getting involved.
And then Caston working the ball around the outside. Scales goes for a long skip pass, finds the teammate. Hinderliner feed into the post and can't hang on to it. North White going to take the ball away.
First turnover of the third quarter.
5 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the third quarter. North White with the lead and the ball, 23-19. Trying to feed the post, taken away by Caston.
Second turnover.
Pushing transition, 4-on-2. Scales, jumper from 8 feet out, up and good. And Scales brings this one 23-21. Just under 5 minutes to go in the third. North White now working on the offensive side, feeding Robertson in the post, kicking it out and around, just inside the three-point line, shot up, no good, rebound by Robertson.
Kyle?
I think that was a friendly fire situation. Caston let go, and they didn't. Possession arrow going to give this one back to the Vikings.
I don't know that anybody had possession on that, did they? On that rebound?
I'm really not 100% sure. I'm not going to say so. And that's going to be a foul called on Caston. Tessa Robertson going to be going to the line for 2 after she was fouled on the take. And Isabel Scales will pick up her second foul of the evening.
First team foul this half.
Robertson's first free throw up and good. Expanding the lead 24-21. And we mentioned it earlier, Robertson has been the rock of this team, averaging almost over 15 points and 7 rebounds as she splits her pair, missing the second one. And North White's effort for the rebound was out of bounds. Going to be Caston basketball. Quick 30-second timeout called here by Caston, wanting to talk things over. 4.5 minutes left to go here in the third. North White leading Caston 24-21. And Milt, what have you seen so far in this third?
Well, just more offense already. Again, it was 6-5 after the first quarter, 16-15 at halftime. And again, Isabel Scales has sort of taken a little bit more control. She's taking a few more shots here. Kenzie Mollenkoff has gotten involved, scoring her first basket. But the Lady Vikings have had 3 players score in this quarter. They had 3 players score in the entire first half.
And they'll take that however they can get it.
Yep.
As they now work with the basketball. Scales bringing it up the court. Caston setting it up around the outside, feeding the post, working down low, passed off to Scales. Scales goes up through the contact, no foul called. She goes up again and is fouled on that one, no question. She'll be going to the line for 2.
And that would be the second foul. Abigail Spry. Scales with 2 free throws here. Team fouls even, 1 apiece this half.
And she makes that one. Is that her third made free throw of the day?
Yes.
That is free throw number 100 on the season for her.
She is 3 out of 3.
With an opportunity to make it 4 out of 4. Scales shot up and good. Brings this one within 1, 24-23. Full court pressure being applied by the Comets. Vikings get the ball inbounds.
If this gets into a free throw shooting contest, Isabel Scales would be the Lady Comet you would want at the line, shooting 73% from that particular position.
No question on that as they try. North White tries to take it inside. Ball wrestled away by Caston. And Isabel Scales slows things down, lets her teammates get back there. Pass to the corner. Three-pointer up and no good, but rebound by Caston. Fouled on the way up and one. Finish on the inside. Addison Zimpelman with a chance for the and one.
And the second foul on Tessa Robertson.
And as Zimpelman goes to the free throw line, the junior wearing number 13, having herself a decent game today. But she misses that one. Rebound by the Vikings. In another local news, the Logansport Berries lead Lafayette Jefferson 27-13 at halftime.
Yes, if the Lady Berries don't come out of that, that would be an upset.
As now North White trying to put together some offense. Ball knocked out of bounds by Caston. Lady Vikings going to retain possession under their own basket.
Haven't had any word on the Lewis Cass Pioneer contest. Have you out at Lewis Cass tonight?
I have not yet heard anything. But if I hear anything, I'll let you know.
All right.
I love it. I get to break news to you.
Yeah.
As now the inbound way over the head of the Vikings and an over and back on that one. It's going to be Caston basketball.
Well, now the officials are talking it over on whether that ball might have been tipped.
I think I might say, hey, buddy, like, I need a couple feet
give
here.
Me my space.
There's a lot of people in here, but it's not that loud.
Yeah. All right, they're gonna give that back to North White, and that was the discussion on whether that ball was tipped.
And I think that was probably the right call. I think it was too far over the head.
And
if only we had instant replay.
Yeah.
So North White now inbounding the basketball. 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go here in the third quarter. They're trailing the Caston Lady Comets 25-24.
So remind me not to mark a turnover down the next time North White turns it over. I've got an extra one on their page right now.
Well, North White was trying to do it there, but fouled on the way up. It's going to be Morgan Carter going to the line for two for the Lady Vikings.
And Kenzie Mollenkoff, I believe, her season gone real deep. It's been mainly six players with the majority of the playing time.
And the first free throw well off the mark from the sophomore Morgan Carter. As that'll bring in Macy Hinderleiter for the Comets. 2 minutes and 57 seconds to go. Chance to tie up the ball game. Free throw up and good. Morgan Carter ties it up at 25. As now Caston trying to work things through. And update from Dale, Pioneer leading Lewis Cass 24-18. Thank you, Dale. You are the man.
Yep, that's what I said. We've got the varsity working for us.
As good as they come. As North White now working on the offensive side. Timeout going to be called by Coach Heimlich.
I think that's the first time out of the night, isn't it?
Caston called one a little bit earlier.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I think they wanted to slow things down a little bit. But, yeah, not a whole lot of them. And this has been a very evenly matched contest so far. Caston obviously having some trouble getting the shots to go down, but North White's just so strong on the rebounds. They're really taking advantage of all the misses.
Well, and it hadn't been a lot of outside misses either. It's been a lot of it has been in the paint where these misses have come. So it's just again that continues to be a little tough going for each of these teams.
North White check on the inbound pass there.
First foul on her, third team foul this half on the Lady Comets.
As the ball comes in, taken away by Caston.
Second turnover.
Caston now working transition. Feed to the inside. Scales kicks it out. Short corner shot up and good. for the Comets. Addison Simpleman adds to her point total, putting the Comets back ahead 27-25.
She now has 8.
And she stepped up big here in this third quarter. Couple made free throws, I believe, and that one. As now North White trying to put something together under 2 minutes to go here in the third.
Ooh, there's a travel.
I mean, she had her luggage with her on that one. That one was a little egregious.
They could see that one.
I mean, we could see it from up here.
Yeah.
You know, so that was. And as the game now continues on, Caston with the ball in the lead, 27-25, 1 minute and 40 seconds to go here in the third. And they try to pass it in under, ball kicked away. You'd have to imagine Callie Hunt's a soccer player. That was a nice reaction to that one.
This is a sport you can't do that, though. So
a little unfortunate for her,
yeah.
but also took away the open post player.
Yeah.
So not a bad.
Worked out.
Not bad for her. Skip pass fed in just inside the free throw line. Jumper up, no good. North White pulls down the rebound, but losing balance. Going to be a travel called on Autumn Rife.
Well, it's been a fairly turnover-free quarter for the Lady Vikings. Still has been for Caston, but now they've picked up 4.
And they feed in, jump shot up, and no good. They tried a quick basket, but Bailey Harness couldn't get it to go.
He's short on the shot.
Just 1 minute to go here in the third quarter. North White feeding the post, shot up and good. Autumn Reef gets that one to go.
Her second basket after not scoring in the first half. Her second of the third quarter.
Skip pass over, 3-point shot up, bounces around, no good. Rebound pulled down by Caston. And they're going to call a foul on North White. A loose ball foul there. And I'll tell you what, if that's one that you wish you wouldn't have gotten called, because she got away with the ball just fine, would have had an easy layup. As North White now going to make a quick substitution, bringing back in Katie Stevens. Ball 47.3 to go. Tie ball game at 27.
Team fouls are even, 3 apiece. That was the third foul on Autumn. I would have said Reef, but I thought I heard him call her Rife. But
I went to school with the girl whose last name was Reef. Rife. That was why I would think that it was Rife.
In Logansport area, it's normally Reef. But anyway, so take your pick.
As the three-pointer's up and good. 3-point shot falls for Bailey Harness.
Her first basket since the first quarter.
And a foul going to be committed here.
Well, they've had a couple of them that they've picked up way in the backcourt. Second foul on Hinderlander.
That full court pressure does come at a price, and the price is fouls. 20 seconds remaining. North White bringing ball.
Oh, there's a travel.
And they got away with the treble and a double dribble on that one. As a feed down into the post, Robertson chucks it up and good. The turning hook. I don't even think she was looking. 5 seconds to go here in the third. Caston with the ball in a 1-point lead. Shot up by Scales, no good. And after 3, Caston retakes the lead in a tight ball game, 30-29. This is the IHSAA Girls Basketball Tournament on Hoosier Country 103.7 with live audio on Indiana's bestradio.com.
Community State Bank opened for business in May of 1930 in Royal Center. Over the years, we have grown to 4 offices. Our commitment to you is to build a trusted relationship and to provide the products and services you need to realize your financial dreams. Community State Bank in Royal Center, 12 Mile, Kewanna, and Walton. Equal housing.
Got a tough outside project to do? Kevin Scott & Son Bulldozing and Excavating has tough equipment to get her done. Serving Cass and surrounding counties, they're the name you've trusted for years because they get it done fast and they get it done right. Kevin Scott & Son Bulldozing and Excavating, proud supporter of Caston Athletics. 574-664-4292.
Hoosier Country 1037 and the 1A Sectional 52 at Tri-County, featuring the Caston Lady Comets, presented by Community State Bank. Back to the gym with Charlie Schmidtgall and Milt Hess.
Welcome back. I'm Charlie. He's Milt. Action just now kicking off. Caston going to be getting the basketball after it was knocked out of bounds by North White. 7 minutes and 52 seconds to go in regulation here.
Well, it's been a 1-point game at every quarter break.
And that three-pointer way off the mark from Caston. North White pulls down the rebound. Vikings now running transition. 3-point shot up and back iron, no good. But North White saves the ball, but Caston's just going to take that away.
Was that a turnover? I was writing at the time. Was that?
No, that was a rebound opportunity, I think. And that one going to be taken the full length of the court and scored by Isabel Scales. And Scales extends the lead to 3.
Certainly both teams more efficient offensively in that third quarter.
It's hard to imagine they could get less efficient.
Now, Caston was 5 out of 10, and North White was 4 out of 7 shooting the ball.
As Robertson had a nice little short corner look, no good. Rebound Caston. Ball in the hands of the ever trustworthy Isabel Scales. Only a junior, but obviously the backbone of this Caston Comets team. As Caston now has pulled the offense way out, content to drain a little bit of time off the clock. Scales working on the inside, shot up, no good. Vikings come down with the rebound, and now North White running transition at a jogging pace. Not quite leisurely, but just above it.
Well, the longer this goes and stays this close, the more pressure is put on the favorites, and that would be the Lady Comets, where they start pressing more.
Pressure makes diamonds, but it can also break. As you're going to see a timeout called by Caston here, with 6 minutes and 11 seconds to go in this. The North White Vikings, 32-29.
Well, Josh Douglas calls that timeout, and he immediately went out to Isabel Scales. There was something that he wanted a point he needed to make with her on. It was the last time down, because I know she was looking over at the bench after they were down here the last time. And so right before the timeout there, he went out to her to explain what he was trying to get across. So not sure what it was, but she nodded in agreement. She got it. Now we'll see what he comes up with to head back out there with this 3-point lead here in the fourth quarter. Just not quite 2 minutes into it, but again, more efficient in that third quarter. Caston 5 out of 10. They were 1 out of 4 from 3-point range. North White just 4 out of 7. They only took 7 shots. They were 1 out of 1 from the 3-point land, though.
And let me tell you, Milt, I haven't seen something this tight since I actually tried to wear my pants from my senior graduation, my freshman year of college. The freshman 15 is not coming.
I don't want to picture that.
Let me tell you, not a good time.
No, I
as
don't.
Caston now tries to get their thing going. 32-29. 6 minutes to go. Caston working the ball around. Feeding the post. Scales. Scales turns. Shot up, no good. Rebound by the Vikings, but high pressure being applied by Caston. But Vikings able to get out of it. Not yet across the timeline, but now they are. Working it to the inside. The Vikings 3-point shot up. Bounces around, no good. Offensive rebound. Fouled on the way up. And one opportunity for the Vikings. And again, Abigail Spry continues to make the uncommon shots look easy.
Yep, and that was the third foul. Bailey Harness has been playing with 2 fouls for a long time. She picked up those 2 in the first quarter. That's her first since then.
And just like that, free throw goes for Abigail Spry, and we are tied at 32 apiece. You can feel the tension in the gym, excitement from the other side, nervousness from our side over here. As Caston now takes the ball across the line, 5.5 minutes to go here in the first. Or the regulation, my apologies. Feet across and blocked.
Wow.
Robertson got a hand on that one. And she just timed that perfectly. Now North White with the possession. Kicked it out and a pass to an unintended target. But North White manages to keep the ball. Moving it into the opposite corner. Nowhere to go, having trouble getting it out. And ball knocked loose. Caston going to keep it in, and a jump ball called.
Well, that avoids the turnover.
And that is a difficult one. I don't really think that ball was ever in dispute of who was in possession. But alas, North White now with the basketball, granted by the possession arrow. Still tied at 32, just under 5 minutes to go. North White working it around the perimeter onto the far wing.
Again, the pressure is not on North White in a game like this.
Only defensively, as Caston now takes it away. Caston in transition, 2-on-2, driving in, shot up, and they're going to call a travel. Oh, and that, I do not agree with that one, no. It was a Euro step layup that they called a travel on. I think that was a foul. That was, but Caston, the universe balances out, takes it back, and draws a foul after a strong defensive play from Addison Zimpelman.
And that would be Abigail Spry's third. Fourth team foul. Caston has 5 team fouls.
Certainly something to keep an eye on as this one remains close. Ball inbounded. Now far corner, 3-point shot up and way short. Off of Caston, going to be North White basketball. 4 minutes and 18 seconds to go. Still deadlocked at 32.
Full court pressure.
Ball inbounded. Still full court man-to-man pressure being applied by Caston. North White gets the ball across the line and a timeout called by North White. So with 4 minutes and 9 seconds to go, tied at 32, what do you think the big keys are for the remainder of this game?
Well, it could come down to foul shooting. And again, I think either team is in about the same boat as far as that's concerned. As I've mentioned, Caston has one player who's well over 50% from the free throw line in Isabel Scale, so they would want to keep it in her hands. I think North White has a couple of players who've been somewhat efficient at the free throw line, but that hasn't been a real strong suit for either one of them, especially when you maybe get into a real pressure type situation for free throw. You know, as far as stats are concerned, they're saying we're not supposed to win this game, so that, you know, they'll take whatever. Caston, the longer this goes, again, the more pressure the tighter it gets for them to put pressure on themselves to win this ballgame.
And no question on that. And as far as the foul shooting for North White, they have a couple of players over 70%, Sprays at 70 and Robertson at 81%. So when it comes time to foul, those are certainly the two they'll be looking to avoid. As now North White gets the ball in bounds. Ball knocked loose. Quality defense by Caston. Short corner shot up and good for North White. Callie Hunt gives her group the lead.
That is the first basket for Callie Hunt on the evening.
Hit that one from about halfway between the paint and the three-point line. As this shot up and good, the long two goes for Bailey Harness. Evening this one back up at 34. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go here. North White gets the ball across the line. Now working with 3 on the perimeter, 2 on the inside.
I think either team would be happy to see the other team shoot three-pointers.
And certainly a travel that was missed there by North White. Now Robertson working on the inside, kicks it out, 3-point shot. Well, we'll call that one a pass, followed by another air ball by North White. Wow, I thought maybe that first one was a pass. No dispute on the second one is an air ball. So under 3 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Feed into the post, kicked out. Extra pass, 3-point shot up, in, called a 2-point shot. But Caston forces the timeout, pulls ahead 36-34 with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left in this one.
Just the second basket of the night for Kenzie Mullenkoff. And both her baskets have come in this second half, one in each quarter. But big ones there.
Yeah, no question on that.
And they're working through Isabel Scales. She has the option of taking it up against Tessa Robertson, and she's giving up some size there to try to maybe get to the free throw line. They may, she may get a little less or a little more selfish. And she may want to take it to the basket so she can get herself to the free throw line. That time she did kick it out. Kenzie Mullenkoff turns it into 2.
And I got to tell you, the extra pass, there were 4 very good passes on that play. Caston able to move the ball really well, but I would say as this game gets closer down, expect him to lean more heavily on Scales.
Well, 2:37 to play, 36, 34? Again, have to look through baskets to see the scoreboard, but
again, the app workout that we've been doing up here, 2 minutes and 37 seconds. North White trying to break the press out of the timeout, had it tied up, but no jump ball called. North White able to get it across the timeline.
Well, Caston folks wanted a jump ball. The North White folks wanted a foul. Oh!
And one opportunity up and good from Abigail Spry, tying it at 36 with a chance to put her team ahead.
Third foul on Macy Hinderleiter.
Spry's a player who came in averaging 9 points a game. I mentioned earlier, 70% free throw shooter. And she makes that one to put her team ahead, 37-36.
She has 12. She averages 9.5.
And she's stepping up big time for this North White group. As Caston now looks to respond. Feed to the inside. Scales struggling to get it out. And ball knocked around off of North White. Going to stay Caston basketball under their own hoop.
Ryan Heimlich wants another timeout here. 2:03 to play. So see how he wants to play this last couple of minutes. He's been around a while. He's in his 9th year at North White, and he's been successful. Been very successful. So he knows a thing or two about the game.
And if you don't mind my asking, Mill, how many more timeouts does he have left?
Well, I might have forgotten, but I have 3 marked down. So unless it could be that I've not written them all down. But 3 that I've marked. So. And they get 5, right?
I believe so. I believe so. So it's always those timeouts become more and more important later in the game. But at the same time, if you have the lead and you have a chance to make an adjustment that you feel puts you in that position, you absolutely do it.
Yep. So we'll see what Josh Douglas came up with for this out-of-bounds play.
2 minutes and 3 seconds to go. Passing in from the baseline. Going to be Caston.
37-36. Lady Comets trail by a point. Again, this has been locked up like this all night long.
Caston now moving it around the outside, trying to feed it, knocked away and stolen by North White. North White now trying to get the ball across the line. Scales face guarding, but knocks the ball loose. No over and back because of the tip.
Well, Scales was saying she didn't tip it. She was saying the ball handler just mishandled it after she got her hand in it.
And now North White Facing high pressure, ball knocked loose. Caston takes it away. Driving to the inside, layup up, fouled. And going to the line for two is going to be Bailey Harness.
Spry with her fourth foul. Just the fifth team foul, but Harness will get 2 free throws here, but still a couple more to go before they're in the bonus. Next foul for Caston would put North White in the bonus.
Harness only a 54% free throw shooter on the year. First one up and no good. And if she splits the pair, she can tie it up, as Caston currently trails North White 37-36. Bailey Harness, the senior, free throw up, bounces around and good, and tied at 37. 1 minute and 22 seconds to go. And you addressed it, Abigail Spry, the ball handler with 4 fouls, been a key piece of this team. So she's going to have to play it a little bit more careful through this last now 67 seconds. North White moving the ball around, high pressure from Caston. And we're going to have, I believe that's a timeout by North White.
Well, it's at least 4.
We can't be certain, but we know for sure it's 4 that they have.
So we'll see if Brian Heimlich wants to try to hang on to this thing. A minute 2 could be a long time. See if he wants to try to hang on to it to make it a last shot with that much time left. In girls high school basketball, that seems like an eternity to try to hang on to the basketball.
For certain. And the last thing you want to do is successfully drain away about 40 seconds of it and then turn it over.
Yeah, and then come away with nothing.
Because then that would give Caston a chance to have
so he may be drawing up a play here that they can get a quick hitter on it and again put the pressure on the Comets.
And at the end of the day, that's what they're trying to do.
Might get. I think we may have to stand here for the last minute here, Charlie.
Well, I'm well ahead of you. I'm now up. I'm not a terribly tall fella, so sitting down was not going to work for me. 60 seconds to go in this one, tied at 37. North White with the basketball. Shot fake in the corner. North White trying to feed the post, knocked loose, but off of Caston. North White going to get the ball under.
This is just the type of game that Josh Douglas was not hoping for.
This was the nightmare that had kept him up, I'm sure. As North White now working with the basketball, 45 seconds and dwindling. Abigail Spry driving up the middle, heaves the shot up, no good. Scrum for the rebound. And it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow gives it to Caston. And with 34.4 to go.
Well, let's see if Josh Douglas takes a timeout when they get the ball down here to set something up. Maybe they've already talked about it.
And for Josh Douglas, the hand motion was simple. Slow down, relax. For his girls, as they now take the ball up the court. Tied at 37. 25 seconds to go. Ball in the hands of Zimpelman.
Well, you know who's going to have it in her hands at some point here.
18 and dwindling, pass into the low post,
Ooh.
Move around, and a travel from Caston's going to give the ball to North White with 13.7 to go. And now North White looking to get the ball inbounds. They do. Trap set up.
Oh, he's
out of bounds. They're going to say it went off of Caston, and they can't believe it.
It just seems like those kind of breaks have been going North White's way. I mean, the bounce of the ball, the shots that go in on a wild type shot, it just seems like those have been going the Lady Vikings' way tonight.
Well, and the question is, how will the last one bounce? 10.5 seconds. The last timeout, I believe, I'm pretty sure it's 5. I'm pretty sure it's 5 was called by North White.
Yeah, that should be their final timeout. But Caston obviously is going to make it very tough for them to get the ball down the court. You know, they've been full court pressing basically this whole half. So don't look for them to pull that off. They just need to be careful not to foul while they're doing it. But they certainly don't want North White to be in a position to get a good look at the basket.
And I believe they do have one to give, correct?
Caston?
Yes.
The next foul would put them in the bonus.
Okay.
Caston has 16 fouls. So.
All right, my apologies on that one. So for Caston, obviously fouling not the preferred option. But if it's between that and a layup, maybe you foul. You never know.
Well, yeah. Again, two players who are fairly efficient for North White at the free throw line, but as a team, neither one, shooting 63% coming into this game. So if you got a choice between a layup and a free throw, you put them to the line.
And here we go.
Everybody's down along the Caston baseline for North White's inbounds play.
10.5 seconds. North White running their play. Having trouble getting it in, but they do to Robertson. Now North White trying to get the ball across the timeline. 6 seconds to go. Pass down to the inside, and a travel is called. North White started moving before they dribbled. Caston going to have 3.6.
Now Josh Douglas will take the timeout to set up what he hopes would be a game-winning play here and keep this from going to overtime. But obviously, the worst you want to happen is going to overtime. I mean, that's you just don't want to do anything that's going to give North White the ball back in the last 3.6 seconds. So
certainly not, as this one is just about as close as they can get. And the thing I can't believe, North White got away with the travel at about midcourt and then proceeded to travel after the pass was made. That was just that they were not prepared for that moment.
Well, again, Caston's putting the pressure on them defensively, which they've done all night. Again, this is a 37-37 game. Both defenses have really made it tough for the other team's offenses tonight. Quite a bit different than our first game that was never a contest, 51-15. The home team, Tri-County, into the championship tomorrow night. They'll play the winner of this one at 7:30. So they're just kicking back, relaxing while they see these two teams sweat it out.
So 3.6 seconds.
Basically the whole length of the court to go.
Casting
Scales.
Ball inbounded to Scales. Scales dribbling, shot up. Oh, bounces around and no good. And you know what? The only thing better than regulation is overtime. And that's what we're going to be going to here in a moment. Tied at 37 all. We've got overtime to decide who's going to meet Tri-County in the sectional final here at Sectional 52. You are listening to the IHSAA Girls Basketball Tournament here on Hoosier Country 103.7 and streaming audio online at indianasbestradio.com.
At Community State Bank, we support our community with time, talent, and resource. Be your friend and neighbor in addition to your banker. Community State Bank with locations in Royal Center, 12 Mile, Kewanna, and Walton. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Your pets are members of your family, and they depend on you for their care. And you'll find the best care at the 12 Mile Veterinary Clinic. They promote preventative care while providing comprehensive services, including spay, neuter, in-house laboratory, pharmacy, and dentistry. 12 Mile Veterinary Clinic, a proud supporter of Caston Athletics.
Logan Sports Savings Bank is a proud supporter of our community and local sports. Logan Sports Savings Bank recognizes the importance that sports play in the development of young student athletes that become the leaders of tomorrow. Logan Sports Savings Bank is leading the way. 574-722-3855 or online at logansportsavings.com.
Back here at Tri-County, and a foul and one opportunity for North White, who now pulls ahead with 3:48 to go here in overtime.
And that was the fourth foul on Bailey Harness.
And Autumn Reef at the line. Shot up, no good. Stays 39-37. As now Caston will have their first possession of overtime. They move it around the outside. In the corner is Zimpelman working it up around to the top. Now on the far side, content to eat a lot of time. Skip past to Scales. 3-point shot up. Bounces around. No good. Offensive rebound. Caston. Second chance effort. No. And rebound taken away by North White. North White now leading 39-37 with 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go in overtime. And a foul going to be called on Caston. And that one charged on Isabel Scales. It's going to give an 1-2 possession ball game. Hunt free throw up and no good. Caston comes away with the rebound. 3 minutes to go. Caston again trailing the North White Vikings 40-30. Lady Comets working it around the outside, trying to get some motion going inside the lane, feeding Scales, double team. Passes out of it, open shot, up, and no good, just a little bit long from Kinsey Mollenkamp. And North White has the ball. Just 2.5 minutes to go in overtime. North White leading by 3. Abigail Spry, trusted with handling the ball out on the Tri-County logo. Fumbles around with it a lot, and they're going to call a foul. I thought that might have been a travel. Not a foul there, but...
Well, that's the fourth foul on Isabel Scales. That's the worst part of that situation.
And that also puts the team at 9, which is going to allow Spry the 1-and-1 free throws, but next one is going to be 2. So Spry is 70% free throw shooter at the line. First one up and no good. Rebound Scales, as now Caston takes it the other way. Just over 2 minutes to go. Caston still searching for their first points of overtime. Moving it around the outside, feed across and too high. Caston can't handle it. North White going to get the basketball on the near sideline right in front of the Caston bench. Now North White trying to get it in. They do. Running the fast break now, Abigail Spry. Spry chucks it up, no good, and no foul called. Caston now with the chance, and they tried the overhead pass too far, but North White wasn't able to rein it in, touched it. It's going to be Caston basketball under their hoop.
The officials have pretty much this game have let them play. I mean, we've seen some contact made that they're just letting them play through it for the most part.
And that last possession certainly could have been a foul, as now Caston trying to get it in, and they do. 1 minute and 43 seconds to go, feeding Scales in the post. Scales working and fouled on the way up.
That's what I wondered if they might be doing earlier.
And now Scales going to be going to the line for 2 for the Caston Comets. 1 minute and 39 seconds up on that clock. Vikings leading the Lady Comets 40-37. Scales at the stripe and gets the first to go.
It's been tough offensively. I think that's a game plan that Josh Douglas wants to take advantage of, is getting her to the free throw line.
As she now lines up for the second one and gets it to go. Now a 1-point ball game again, 40-39. North White gets the ball inbounds. And they move it across the half-court line. Callie Hunt trusted with the ball handling. High pressure still being applied by the Caston defense. Now Abigail Spry working with it at about the volleyball line. Trying to drain as much time off of the clock as she can. 1 minute and 17 seconds to go.
So she'll try to keep it being one of the better free throw shooters. And again, you have a couple players. Isabel Scales had to be careful.
And Caston almost forces a turnover, but North White able to hang on to it. Now only 60 seconds remain in this one, and you have to wonder, Callie Hunt has the basketball. Do you want someone to try to foul her? Oh, and they're going to try to tie her up. And a jump ball going to be called this way. Caston's going to have the ball, trailing by 1.
Not the type of game that Caston folks were hoping for, but certainly North White, it's been their type of game. And again, things have just been tough offensively for both teams. And you know that Isabel Scales is going to be touching this basketball. North White will know it. We'll see what the Lady Comets do to counteract that. But again, Isabel Scales has been touching the ball down low.
26 seconds to go. Caston still with the ball well beyond.
There it is.
Shot up.
Oh.
No good. Knocked loose. And rebound pulled down by North White. Foul going to be called. And North White's going to be going to the free throw line for 2 with 9.7 seconds left in this one. Autumn Rife to the free throw line for North White. She'll be shooting 2. Making the first one, a 61% free throw shooter on the year. 9.7 seconds left. The freshman. Autumn Rife at the free throw line. Shot up and sinks it. Now a 3-point ball game. Caston calling a timeout to talk things over.
Well, now Josh Douglas has a decision. I mean, you would think the obvious thing is we take the 3-point shot. But, again, you've not been real efficient with three-pointers this season and this game in particular. So do you take it down low, try to pick up a 3-point play down there?
For me, the question becomes, I don't know, there's an analyst over at CBS named John Rothstein, and he has 3 messages that he lives by. Never acknowledge The Godfather Part 3, never eat pizza outside of the Eastern time zone, and always foul up 3 late.
Before they take a 3-point shot.
Exactly, and that would put Caston at the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity, which even if they make both would not allow them the opportunity to take the lead.
Well, it's maybe easier said than done in college. In high school, you're not used to fouling, and those you don't want to pick up. And I don't know if the officials are prepared to call an intentional foul. You would certainly have to be careful not to be called for an intentional foul if you're trying to do that.
No question on that, as now Caston's going to inbound the ball. 9 seconds to go. Bringing it up the court. Moving it around now in the hands of Scales. Scales to her teammate. Shot up. Zimpelman bounces around. No good. Oh, it did everything but go in. Front and back iron. And the upset as North White knocks off the number 2 team in 1A on Max Preps. 42 to 39. And wow, this one was close from beginning to end. Caston got a shot. It looked, it hit the front, it hit the back, it bounced off. And unfortunately, Caston coming up short after North White pulls off the upset. This is the IHSAA Girls Basketball Tournament on Hoosier Country 103.7 with live audio on IndianaBestRadio.com.
At Community State Bank, we support our community with time, talent, and resources. We want to be your friend and neighbor in addition to your banker. Community State Bank with locations in Royal Center, 12 Mile, Kewanna, and Walton. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Your pets are members of your family, and they depend on you for their care, and you'll find the best care at the 12 Mile Veterinary Clinic. They promote preventative care while providing comprehensive services, including spay, neuter, in-house laboratory, Mile Veterinary Clinic, a proud supporter of Caston Athletics.
Logan Sports Savings Bank is a proud supporter of our community and local sports. Logan Sports Savings Bank recognizes the importance that sports play in the development of young student athletes. Student athletes that become the leaders of tomorrow. Logan Sports Savings Bank is leading the way. 574-722-3855 or online at logansportsavings.com.
Every farm has a system, and at Systematic Ag in Lucerne, we are here to help you refine it. Systematic Ag offers parts and services for solutions to improve the systems you use in every season of your ever-evolving operation. Stay up to date with the latest precision tools and technology. Call us today at 574-727-1087. Systematic Ag in Lucerne, proud supporter of Caston Athletics.
Forget paying those high prices for trash removal in Rochester. Offers a variety of affordable trash removal and dumpster services to Rochester and the surrounding counties. They offer seasonal service, perfect for snowbirds and lake residents. They also offer once-a-month pickup for smaller households. Call Mike's Trash Removal today and get better service for less money. Mike's Trash LLC in Rochester, 574-223-6429. A proud supporter of Caston High School Athletics. Go Comets!
Hoosier Country 103.7 in our coverage of the 1A Sectional 52 at Tri-County, presented by Community State Bank. Time for the post-game show. We take you back to the gym. Here's Charlie and Milt.
Charlie and Milt here post-game, where it was a close one that ended up going the way of North White, Caston falling just short 42-39 in overtime. And Milt, this was one, it was wire to wire, and that obviously addressed North White a lot better than that 7-17 record. And boy, did they show it tonight.
Yeah, that's and we'll see if Josh Douglas is able to make it up here after this one, but because that was just a grind all night long. The final score ends up a 3-point game. That's as big a margin as we had at any quarter break tonight. It was a 1-point game at every quarter break. And again, that was not the type of game that Caston was hoping for. Josh Douglas knew that it was a possibility. Again, when I saw him in the hospitality room, at halftime of that first game tonight, he was nervous. He was concerned that this North White team was going to be better than 7-17. He knew they were, and he was hoping that his players knew that North White was better than 7-17. And again, each coach tonight had a good game plan defensively to take away the strengths of the other team, and it just seemed like tonight, those 50-50 balls or the 50-50 calls or whatever, it just seemed like it went the way of the underdog tonight, and the underdog needs that to happen to be able to pull that off. But it was a hard-fought game. Again, offensively, the team struggled, especially in the first half. They did pick it up a notch in the second, but it was just a grind for both teams to score points tonight. And North White ended up being able to score 3 more than Caston.
And one of the things that really comes into that, all of those contested shots that were kind of just heaved up and fell down for that North White team, any one of those could have missed, 75% of the time, and that would have made this an entirely different ball game. But Lady Luck was on the side of North White tonight, and everything that could go their way did.
Well, and that's this time of year, that's all it takes. Just one night for things to go your way to be able to advance to the next night. And again, if you're a favorite or things have gone well all season long, all you have to have is one off night at this point in time, and your season is over. And unfortunately for the Caston Lady Comets, that's what happened this evening. They just were never able to get into an offensive flow. And then again, as I mentioned, the longer the game goes and it's that close, the pressure's on the favorite, and that's where things start getting tighter. And it looked like that's what happened.
And let me tell you, it's my heart really feels for Bailey Harness and Kinsey Mollenkamp being the seniors on that Caston team. My high school career ended in a loss, as everybody but one team does, and it's tough, especially in a game that you would have expected you to come out here and probably have a little bit more success than ended up happening. But all in all, just a great season for Caston. Only 3 losses on the whole year, 20 wins. Definitely something worth commending.
Well, and the good news for those seniors, and Ann Ulrich is the third senior that's on the roster. But the good thing for at least 2 of them is that they have another sport coming up in softball that they can look forward to. And then the good news for the Lady Comets is they still have a pretty good base coming back to come back and try to avenge this and put the taste out of their mouths for next year. So they've got a solid foundation, I think, coming back. Again, it's tough on those individuals who won't be, but at least they have another sport to try to make up the slack there a little bit. So.
And that is very true, and especially when, the main foundation of your team, Isabel Scales, only a junior, going to be returning next year. And did you have a chance to look at the totals for tonight's game?
I have each half. Have you taken your one post-game break? You just take the end of the – well,
we
had an overtime thrown in there, so that sort of threw things out of kilter. But
I was going to wait for our post-game break until we saw Coach come out here, but you know what? We can throw it now. We'll just keep looking for him, and if he can't make it here, we'll pivot. We'll adjust.
Well, and he has another radio station who will be waiting on him as well. So we don't know how long we might have to stall to talk to Josh, and obviously he'll want to talk quite a while with his players because this is a tough one. I mean, they were you looked at the tournament and the way things were drawn up. They were the overwhelming favorite coming in here. But I will tell you, as North White, as excited as they are tonight, they better be ready to play tomorrow night because, again, and I told this to a group on Tuesday, I would never count out a home team, a team playing on their home court during tournament time.
Absolutely not.
And so North White knows as well as anybody, you have to be ready to play because Tri-County, even though they came into the night with a 12-11 record, they're playing on their home court tomorrow night, and North White needs to put this one. they can't celebrate this one too long because they're going to have a battle on their hands facing a team on their home court tomorrow.
And certainly the opposite can be said as well when it comes to Tri-County. You can't celebrate the fact that you're not playing, the team that you thought was tougher. You can't shortchange anybody. And
Josh Douglas is out of the locker room. We'll see where he heads first, but I'm guessing because the Rochester radio station is going to be closer to on his way, that he will talk to them first. So if you want to take the break, feel free.
All righty. Well, we are going to take that quick break. You're listening to the post-game show of the IHSAA Girls Basketball Tournament here on Hoosier Country 103.7 and streaming online at indianasbestradio.com.
Community State Bank opened for business in May of 1930 in Royal Center. Over the years, we have grown to 4 offices. Our commitment to you is to build a trusted relationship and to provide the products and services you need to realize your financial dreams. Community State Bank in Royal Center, 12 Mile, Kewanna and Walton. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Simpleman Excavating Incorporated, we're proud of the Caston Comets girls basketball team. Their hard work and determination is second to none, and we wish them all the best in tournament play. Simpleman Excavating Incorporated, specializing in site prep, land clearing, and irrigation tile. Contact 574-835-0999. All the equipment to get any job done. Go Comets!
At Mike Anderson Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in downtown Logansport, you can trust our team to provide the best service and selection with a one-stop full-service dealership destination for drivers throughout the area. With a large selection of well-known American automotive brand names, we've got what you're looking for. Mike Anderson Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, downtown Logansport.
Got a tough outside project to do? Kevin Scott and Son Bulldozing and Excavating has tough equipment to get her done. Serving Caston and surrounding counties, they're the name you've trusted for years because they get it done fast and they get it done right. Kevin Scott and Son Bulldozing and Excavating, proud supporter of Caston Athletics. 574-664-4292. The post-game show continues. Back to Charlie and Milt.
Charlie and Milt here at Tri-County High School, sectional number 52. And Coach Josh Douglas is going to be coming over here in just one moment. And Milt's going to be doing the interview with him, so I will pass my headset off here to Josh.
Oops. Hey, Coach, thanks for coming up. I know to make you go through this twice, you talked to another radio station and make you do it again. We appreciate you coming up for one thing, but this was a grind all night long, and I saw you before the game, at the hospitality room, and you were concerned. You knew you were playing a team that was better than 7-17. You hoped your players knew that, and I'm sure you did your best to convince them. But tonight was a battle of wills that I thought both coaches had a great game plan in taking away the strengths of the other team. They just happened to outscore you by 3 points tonight, Coach, but you knew going in this was going to be a battle.
Yeah, I know. Everybody looks at the paper and hey, that's a big upset tonight. It's not an upset. North White's a lot better than what everybody knows. They had some injuries through the year that helped their role players get a lot better. They're a heck of a team. Credit to Brian there. He's a hell of a coach. And, this game of basketball is a make and miss sport, right? And we had some tremendous looks that just did not fall for us tonight. I don't know how many where they were there and they just didn't go, and then you add in a couple of their, some luck shots.
Well, that's what I said tonight. It seemed like the 50-50 balls, the 50-50 shots, the 50-50 calls.
Yep.
It seemed to go again,
yep.
It seemed to go their way tonight.
It did. Yep.
But both, again, it looked like both teams, 3-point shooting. Again, we hadn't seen you. I followed stats. I follow your emails. But 3-point shooting was not a big strength of either one of these teams this year. It looked like, obviously, both coaches knew that. We want to try to get the ball inside, but both teams made it very tough down low tonight.
Yeah, I knew it would be a low-scoring game. I mean, we wanted to take the Robinson girl out. She's so smooth around the basket. Her footwork is tremendous. We knew Spry was going to drive. Addison battled. I mean, she was cramped in the whole fourth quarter and overtime and never missed a minute. But it just comes down. We had two unbelievable looks around the basket, bunnies that just didn't roll in. And then, I think the three-pointer at the buzzer kind of sums up our night. I mean, it looked like it was going in, bounced up. It looked like it was going to fall in, and then it just rolled off.
We had to wait 5 seconds after the buzzer sounded to figure out whether we were going to another overtime. Yeah. That's how close that was.
That's just how the night was for us, unfortunately.
And I obviously Isabel Scales. We mentioned she leads your stats.
Oh yeah.
But not dominating. She's had so much. There's so much to go around her, but it looked like you wanted to go to her.
Yeah.
And I thought at times maybe, Coach, she could have been a little more selfish.
Yes. We had that conversation a couple times during the game.
Okay. Well, I assume maybe you did because I thought, she's one that you want to get to the free throw line for one thing. And I thought maybe unless she had that wide open look to somebody, I thought Isabel probably, and again, this is not a knock on her. I just thought
that's the type of player she is.
Yep. I thought, Isabel, maybe you need to be a little more selfish now because maybe you can get to the free throw line and get those points.
Yep.
Because points were tough otherwise.
Yes, they were. And there wasn't a lot of free throw shot, until some fouls there at the end. It was, and they make their free throws. We talked about that. We couldn't put them on the line. The freshmen stepped up, hit two big ones there to put them up by 3 when they were up by 1. And they're a good team.
Okay, we're going to let you. I want to give you a chance just to mention your seniors,
Yes.
Coach, and before we let you go. So, talk about your seniors.
We had 3 seniors. Anna Ulrich, she's the forgotten one, but that girl showed up every day. She had her own set of drills. She did them every single day.
Uh-huh.
And she got in some games for us. But her smile,
quite an inspiration for the team.
She is.
Sure, yeah.
Every once in a while we had to look for her because she'd go hide on us in practice, but that was just staying for us.
Yeah.
But Bailey and Kinsey, they mean the world to me. They mean the world to this team. They helped us get back on track. They've helped the last 4 years here turn this around. They were there for the first rough year. Now they've been there for the good part. And, they're leaving on a high note. They're leading to hard work pays off. And that's what those 2 girls do. They were in the weight room. They led by example. And 2 special kids for me.
And 2, tough on those individuals, as I mentioned earlier. But you've got a pretty good foundation.
We do.
Coming back, Coach. So good news for Caston lady basketball as well.
Yes,
so,
we'll be back.
Okay. Coach, appreciate you coming up. Have a safe trip back. Congratulations on a great season.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for covering us.
Yep. Coach Josh Douglas of the Lady Comets. Again, they fall tonight by 3, 42-39 in overtime. And again, this was that close and then some all night long.
Certainly.
Charlie, just a tough way to go out when you've had such a great season, and you hope this isn't the thing that this team remembers from this season. Unfortunately, a lot of times you may remember your last game, but they need to remember how well things have gone for them this year. They were 19-0, and not many teams can say that at any point along their seasons, that they had a run like that, and they were 20-2, now 20-3. A lot of teams would love to have that kind of record.
They certainly would. And just a great season, not the ending they were hoping for, but again, fantastic year and things looking up for Caston in the future.
I didn't, because I was talking to the coach, I didn't have time to figure out all the stats. I do have numbers for Caston, and they ended up, again, it was a tough shooting night. He talked about it. Those shots were not going. 14 out of 49 for 29% from the field tonight. Now, free throw shooting, again, had not been a real strength, but they go 9 out of 12 at the free throw line tonight for 75%. They didn't turn the ball over much. They had 4 turnovers in the first half, 5 turnovers in the second half and overtime, so a total of 9 turnovers. So a pretty clean ball game for the Lady Comets here tonight. Again, their leader on the season was their leader in this game. Do you still need to take a post-game break, or we're all finished with breaks? Okay.
Yep.
Isabel Scales had 9 points in the first half. She ended up with, I believe, 10, if I'm adding up correctly as we speak. That's hard for me to do more than one thing at a time. But so I believe she ended up with 19 points to lead all scores here this evening. I don't think, nobody else was in double figure scoring for the Lady Comets. Bailey Harness ended up with, looks like 8 points. 8 points tonight. Addie Zimpelman ended up with 8 points as well. Kinsey Mollenkoff did not score in the first half, had 4 points total. She had 2 points in the third and 2 points in the fourth for her total of 4 points. So they had just 4 players score tonight and just won in double figures. But again, when you in that kind of a defensive contest, you wouldn't expect a lot of people in double figures scoring. But anyway, like I say, it was a grind all night long, and the longer it went like that, the tougher it got for Caston in this, because the pressure was on them, not the team that was 7-17 coming in. So just individually, I won't give all of them, but for North White, again, they used mainly their inside game between Rife and Robertson this year. But it was tonight Abigail Spry who ended up with, I believe, 12 points on the night to lead them in scoring. I think maybe Robertson also had 12. Yeah, it looks like both of them had 12 points on the evening. So anyway, it's pretty much gone that way for them. Those have been their 2 leading scorers this year. That's how it went tonight. But Brian Heimlich, again, we mentioned, and he mentioned, Coach Douglas mentioned Brian Heimlich. He's been around a while, and he had a great game plan coming in, and his game plan worked out 3 points better than Caston's tonight.
And with that, the overtime loss for Caston sends that was 42-39. Tomorrow night at 7:30 here at Tri-County, it'll be between Tri-County and North White for the sectional 52 championship. And with that, we are going to wrap up our broadcast here. I'm Charlie. He's Milt. Thank you very much for listening to us in your home, in your car, wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a good night, and I love you, Mama.
Thanks for listening to our coverage of the IHSAA Girls Basketball State Tournament, the 1A Sectional 52 at Tri-County, presented by Community State Bank. Additional sponsors include the Mike Anderson Auto Group, Kevin Scott & Son Bulldozing and Excavating, Logan Sports Savings Bank, 12 Mile Veterinary Clinic, Systematic Ag, Zimpelman Excavating, and Mike's Trash. Let's take you back to the music on Hoosier Country 103.7, WHZR, Royal Center, Logansport.
Never